Today we're going to talk about different types of carbon compounds so that we can identify organic compounds. And our success criteria is being able to differentiate between the organic and the inorganic compounds. So organic chemistry is chemistry that revolves around carbon, and carbon is also the main uh, element within living organisms. Originally, uh, organic chemicals got their name because they were believed to only have been created by living things. So, organic chemistry originally referred to compounds that chemists believe only living organisms could create. Now, we know today that's not quite the case. You can synthesize many organic compounds through non-living means. They happen naturally in chemical processes, and some inorganic compounds are produced by living things too. So that classification doesn't really work. But the way that we define organic chemicals today is most carbon-containing compounds, except for those that are oxides, like carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, or that have carbon in ethanol, C2H5OH, and various amino acids are all organic compounds. However, carbon dioxide is not, sodium bicarbonate is not, and potassium cyanide are not. In the case of carbon dioxide, it is an oxide of carbon, so it's considered inorganic. And in the case of the other two compounds, carbon is present in a polyatomic ion. So we see that there are both inorganic and organic compounds that are found within living beings, but we can also separate them into different classifications. And there are further classifications than this as you study deeper and deeper into organic chemistry. Most of the time we would not consider anything that has a metal in it to be an organic compound, but we will see that there are some polyatomic ions that are actually based off of organic compounds. So the lines can get a little blurry, but we can usually stick with, for grade 12, this simple definition. Carbon-containing compounds that are not oxides and do not have polyatomic ions. The most common and the simplest of organic compounds are known as hydrocarbons, which you are familiar with from hydrocarbon combustion already. Hydrocarbons are long chains of carbon and hydrogen, hence the name. Note that the hydro in hydrocarbon refers to hydrogen atoms, not to water molecules. These are often the result of decay, which means that they get produced when living things break down and combine it with heat and pressure, and all of a sudden you have fossil fuels and petrochemicals that have defined our modern Anthropocene era. These are created when the remains of dead organisms, usually plants, get buried under sand and mud for long periods of time and are subject to high temperatures and pressures. So natural gas, methane, crude oil, heavy oil, bitumen, coal, all of these are petrochemicals, fossil fuels that are made useful to us through the process of refining, which we'll talk about in greater detail later on.